Welcome to Friday Night Chats with Garage Geek. It's been a few weeks. I was sick, and man, my foster kid, the 4-year-old, brought home a super bug. He was down. He didn't go to school for a day or maybe even two, and he was sick for at least a good week. And then I got it, and I even had to take off a day of work. And now my husband's got it, and he's been in bed for 3 days. And he got a flu shot the week before. Like, this thing is not something to laugh at. But I'm almost done with it. I'm still coughing a bit. And in fact, that's going to remind me to take a cough drop so that I won't start getting a dry voice in the middle of this video. Now, I've got a few things to chat with you about. A lot of it's on my iPad, right? So I could show Realia. But my iPad only had 7%. So I'm going to try to save that stuff for the end of the video. And in this case, it'll be halfway through. I'll talk about some other things. So I was very excited today. Why? Because I have 3 weeks off. Yes, so happy about that. So on my way home, since my husband's been sick, I stopped at Trader Joe's to buy some basically microwave dinners so that when I don't feel like cooking, or the kids, sometimes the kids cook for themselves. Sometimes, we cook all together. But, sometimes, I make food for myself. So I've got those handy dinners just to throw in. And, yeah, because my husband's sick. And yeah, okay, I'm confessing, I don't cook and he does most of the cooking. Whatever. I was trying to get around that confession, but yeah, it's true. And Garage Geeks sits on his butt and watches movie while his poor husband cooks. Okay, I confessed it. You got it out of me. So I stopped at Trader Joe's on the way home. And then after that, I went right across the street is the local comic book shop. Now, my local comic book shop sends me an email because I have a small pull list, and they're like, if you don't get in here and pay, we're gonna charge your credit card. And so I think it's okay because it reminds me I need to go to my local comic book shop. But then again, I went and I spent a lot of money. But I'm so excited because there were so many cool comic books on the shelves. And, I always lament the fact that people say that modern comics are not good, but that's just not true. Anyways, at Trader Joe's, I bought a wine, and I bought it just for the label. I mean, look at this cute label. And this wine was so cheap. It was $4.99. I didn't care. It's called Porta 6. Maybe Porta 6. And then another reason I bought this is because right over there behind this camera, I have some kind of like cabinet. And it has a row for wine bottles, and I only have 3 right now. And my husband always tells me I have to fill it up. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 more. So now I only need 4. Okay, so I'm halfway. So there you go. Isn't that a gorgeous wine bottle label? Let me put that down so I don't drop it. And then I grabbed some beers. Uh-oh, I gotta grab these. So I got a 4-pack, but just 2 different beers. I'm technically not supposed to do this. I should have got 4 different ones. But the first one I got was this Bowman, Boeman. And it's just all these sheep floating around this open door with these weird eyes and claw marks. Like it's maybe a wolf. I don't know. But pretty nice label there. Oh, what kind of beer is it? Who cares? A Belgian white ale. And then the next one is from a brewery called Common Space, called Stress Dissolver Strawberry Lemonade Soured Ale. Now that sounds perfectly repulsive. Who cares? It's got a really cool beer label. Look at that label. Oh my gosh, so much fun. I'm actually looking forward to drinking that. And when I was checking out, the person at the checkout counter, she was asking me, oh my gosh, have you tried this? I really want to try it. Da, 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 da. And I was like, nope, just getting it for the first time. But she was really interested. Okay. The next couple of things, let me talk about this. Now, I'm reading through a bunch of graphic novels that I have on my shelves. You might see this again. I might include it. But I read this Batman the Cowardly Lot. I mean, that's a great cover. I think I have the comic version of this because of that yellow. And this isn't a standalone. I found out to my chagrin. This, oh, it actually says this is volume 4. I don't know what that's. So maybe okay, I should have looked at that because I'm going to have a major criticism about this book. But this is from the Tynion, James Tynion, the 4th run with Jorge Jimenez art. Let me show you the wraparound cover because those are always cool. Yeah, that's from one of the comic books. I have it. So yeah, I mean you can see the interior art is nice. Now, so this comes from the middle of the Batman run. It's not one of those standalone separate things, and that was my major criticism of this. I'll get into that in a second. So this is Batman Volume 4, The Cowardly Lot. Begins a year-long saga that will change the Dark Knight's world forever, collecting Batman number 106 to 111, and Infinite Frontier number 0. Okay, so I should have read that blurb. So my criticism was the first, like every issue of this starts off with the Batman. First of all, look at that cool art. That is just, I don't have that one. And that's just a really cool cover. It starts off with Batman being, well, the whole thing doesn't start off. But almost every issue starts off with Batman being tortured by the Scarecrow. And that's never resolved. Like, we end the book where Batman is confronting the Scarecrow. And so we never got the full story of how he is being tortured by him and then how ultimately he defeats him. So this is only, like the first half of the saga. And so that was my criticism. Another criticism I have of this is that there were a lot of, I don't know, what do you call things that I couldn't suspend my disbelief over. So, for example, there's a new character in here called Ghost something, and he admits that he is a sociopath, but he always seems to be around when Batman needs him, like in the split second. And I guess he's kind of like a Robin, but I just don't know who this guy is. So, anyways, Batman is in a high-rise building, and it's a dead zone. Nobody can contact him. Oracle's desperately trying, so she contacts this ghost guy. But anyways, Batman sets as he's fighting Scarecrow under the influence of this like fear drug. He's setting off all these bombs, and he sets them off in such a way that as he dives out of the building, the bombs go off in a code that let the ghost guy in his plane know the coordinates to pick him up as he's jumping out of the building. I'm like, really? No. But anyways, it's silly stuff like that, but a lot of fun. If you're a teen, you'd probably think that's really cool, but I was just like kind of rolling my eyes. But even though I was rolling my eyes, I was still having fun with it. It's a fun read. It's just, that kind of stuff. You're going to have to suspend your disbelief. But the art is fun. The story is kind of fun. Oh, another thing is Oracle's in this a lot. And Oracle's always calling everybody, but they always show Oracle with like something to eat. Like she always has a hamburger, or she has some fries, or she has coffee that's brewing like at her desk station. And I'm like, she's wafer thin, and she's always downing burgers as she's talking to everybody. It was kind of funny. Here's a picture of Oracle right there. So she's, I believe, Batgirl. Right, in this guise, like she's taking a break from being Batgirl. I don't think it was because she had her back broken. I'm not sure. So many timelines get switched and everything. So, Batman the Cowardly Lot, the Tynion run. It was fun. It's just, you're gonna have to suspend your disbelief on that one. Now, I covered that so much, I probably don't have to cover it in another video. But there's a lot of good art in here that I really didn't take the time to showcase. that maybe I need to. All right. After that, I would like to give you a possum update. So my possum is named Poncho. So he's running around here, and I see him every few days. I'm lucky if he sleeps in the blankets on my chairs. Then the next morning, I always check, and if he's there, I'm able to pick him up and hold him. He doesn't like it, but I'm able to do it. And then he gets mad, and I don't see him again for 3 days. But then, like, I think like every third day, he'll come up and sleep in the blankets. Maybe he'll stop doing that. But he's getting big. He's pretty big. He's a little bit hefty, and I don't want to fat shame him or everything, but I'm glad he's eating well. When I come in the morning, like, the food is everywhere. Like, this possum is messy. I guess he just like goes through it and like, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. So there's like food all over the floor. That's okay. I clean up after him. The funniest thing is I thought to myself, well, let me see if he'll use a litter box. So I got like a little plastic container and I filled it up with cat litter, and he started using it. I was like, wow, I didn't have to teach him or anything. He just started using it. Now, sometimes he goes outside the box, but the urine always is inside. And that's what I'm thankful for. But the funniest thing was like 2 days ago, I was sitting watching TV, and my dog was over here and the litter box is over there in that corner. And I didn't hear something. I smelled something. I was like, what is that? And so I turned around, and he was in the litter box, and he was just sitting there looking at me, and he was going to the bathroom. And it was the most hilarious thing. I wish I had a video of it. And then as soon as he was done, he ran back and hid inside the chair. So I was just surprised that he actually came out when the lights were on, especially with the dogs around, in order just to go to the bathroom, and then he hid again. But man, is he still so cute. He's so cute. All right. I want to show off my shirt. So this was a gift from the audio vinyl. No, is that what it's called? The audio... I can't even remember. That is a gift. The auditory vinyl. So this is basically Doug Anderson's channel and his new rebranding and his logo. And he sent me this shirt with his logo on it. Isn't that cool? So you might see me in this shirt a lot because I'm just going to wear it for videos and then take it off again. Kind of thing. Until you get sick of it, and then I'll start wearing it for real. I feel like I'm off my game. I'm having a lot of pauses tonight. Sorry about that, everybody. All right. So I've got two types of comic books that I want to talk to you about. So I'm pretty bad because I ranted about people showing off comics, and look what I got. Look what I got. And so I'm going to be a hypocrite, and that's what I'm going to do. However, I promise you that I am going to read many of these comics and then showcase them and showcase the art inside. So let me go ahead. Now, the first type that I got is I got this huge box from Donald Rex because we traded comics. And I actually, I was waiting for his box to come because I didn't have a box big enough, but his box is actually, I think, too big. And the post office is now charging by the size of the box as well as the weight. It's weird. So anyways, I have to mail his box tomorrow, and I want to this is nowhere near the books that the total, but I just grabbed a bunch that I wanted to show off, and I'm going to show them off real fast, just so that we could have fun with the comics. So here is Commandy, Last Boy on Earth, number 16, a 20 center. Now, the reason I'm showing this is because there are 60 issues of Commandy, and this makes my number 31. So I'm over half. And I've got another one coming in the mail, so I'm at 32. So it will be a really nice day when I have all of them. And this is one series where I already have the number 1. So I have the most expensive one already. So it's pretty cool. And that's, Jack Kirby. Just so awesome. Look at this gorgeous Lois Lane cover. Look at the colors. They pop on this. The pink and the red. And then look at Superman's face. Like, what did Lois do to him? Here's another really, really cool Lois Lane. Look at that. Wow. So cool. Now this next one. Like, Jimmy is just sitting there torturing Superman. I mean, look at him. And Jimmy is so gleeful. And even Lex is like, uh-oh, I think you're going a little bit too far. Look at him. Like, I don't want to say homoerotic, but it is. Look at this cool one. That last one and this one, they're Neil Adams. Like, look at this. Isn't that like one of the coolest covers of a Superboy comic ever? The other one is where they're in the desert and he's like pouring for Jimmy, and oh no, maybe that's a Jimmy Olsen cover. This one's pretty funny. The reason I'm showing this is because Superman is like, nah, can't help ya. So he's like, oh my gosh, this alien race is getting back at me for what I did. And they're materializing my past identities in like real form. And Superman's like, can't help you, Jimmy. You're being punished by some super race for a crime against the world, and I dare not interfere. So he's like, bye, bitch. Can't help you. You dug your own grave. Look at this really cool Turok. Like, look at that. That painted cover on that thing is just so cool. Here's another painted cover I want to show off. Scary Tales. Look at that. How cool is that one? And that one is number 2. I need to get number 1. All right, this one, Clyde Crash Cup. I don't know. There's just something really wrong about this cover. It's just like really weird. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's weird. Okay. Here's a really cool painted cover. Look at that. All these old painted covers are so cool. And I bet if we look at the back, there'll be a virgin cover of it. There is. Let's show that off. Oh no, it's a different one. It's an actual real photo. Well, that's sad. I built it all up for nothing. But still, really cool cover. Hold on, I want to put this away without getting the tape on it. Okay. Sorry about that. Here's a really cool old Felix the Cat. So he's on the moon and he's eating green cheese from the moon. When I first saw this, I thought it was pizza. But yeah, of course, green cheese. Now, this one is an interesting cover because look at Felix. He's in a sombrero, but what the heck are those? I'm sorry, cover that up. And what does that look like? I'm so sorry. There's what? What is going on there? Is it just me? Did you guys see something out there? I mean, I did. Look at this. Oh, look at that. Awesome. Just awesome cover. Here's a Mysteries of Unexplained Worlds. What? Look at this. And it says, suddenly you are in a prehistoric world. You've always wanted to hunt big game. Okay, wise guy, what now? The Day of the Hunter. So this reminds me of the Isaac Asimov story, where we get the butterfly effect. I forget the name of the story. But it's about, I think they're hunters. Are they hunters? I can't remember. Okay. Here's another painted cover. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. Look at that. That's pretty awesome. Another painted cover. I just love these painted covers. Look at them. Combat. Okay, this one is amazing. So, I don't even have to explain it. I'm just going to read it, and it's going to be hilarious. Superman bursts in. They're just, like, enjoying their lunch in the office, whatever. And Superman bursts in. He says, I'll tell you why I'll never marry you, Lana, or you, Lois. Who wants a wife so stupid she doesn't realize I'm Superman when I take off my Clark Kent glasses? It's like, I'm not marrying any of you stupid biatches. Oh, Lord. Like, and look, he just, like, bursts in and gives them a head. Lois is all like, oh. I'm not making that up. Look what it says. He says, how could I ever marry a woman who's so stupid she doesn't realize I'm Superman without my glasses on? Something the whole world has wondered, right? There's only a couple more. No, two more. So this is another like really cool painted cover. Look at that thing. PT-109. Look at that. And the final one is this 10 center, Justice Traps the Guilty. And it's got, like, this is a really cool old comic, right? But this is adapted from true police and FBI cases. How cool is that? That's everything young kids should be reading about. Oh, Lord. So these, oh my gosh, Donald Rex, thank you. I will be going to the post office tomorrow. I'm getting a haircut, so that's why I'm going to go out. So I'll definitely go to the post office and then go get my haircut. Now, what I want to show you is, don't forget I'm going to go over movies at the end of this. I'm just letting my iPad charge. I went to the comic book store, local comic book store, and I spent too much money. But you know what? These comics look amazing. Like, I only got things that I knew I would read, except for the Conan. The Conan was in my pull list. It was the only thing. First of all, they have this free Marvel must-haves, and it's full comic books, and you can get this free at your comic book shop. And they have an issue of Daredevil from Frank Miller. This is a great comic. I look at Kingpin. Awesome. Yeah, this issue of Daredevil. They have an issue of Hulk. They have an issue of, I don't know, what's her name? Ghost Spider. So yeah, and it's free. Grab it. Go to your local comic book store and grab it. I picked up, even though I know I won't keep this, I picked up Geiger, the first, because it's, remember, Image Comics put out these, and they're only $9.99 for this, and this is 6 issues. Now, originally, they're $4 to $5 each, so $30 to buy them, and then the collected edition is only $9.99. And this is a great way, to read the series. And everybody, like, I don't know everybody, but so many people have said good things about Geiger that I just wanted to jump in. But yeah, I will read this and then I will give it away to somebody. A lot of people have been talking about this series, but as I was walking out, the owner of the shop, he was like, hey, I see that you like these. Maybe you'll like these. Now, one reason I hesitated to buy this is because I think I bought issue number 1 and it's coming in the mail. But I decided to go ahead and get this series. This is from Boom. And what they are is they are a collected, compilation of horror by, some of the industry's big names. Hello Darkness number 1. This is number 3. And everyone's talking about these amazing covers. And I got the alternate cover for number 2, even though I should have, I'll probably have to get number 2 like this because these will look beautiful. They will look really, really nice, like displayed on the wall. But anyways, I got that one, and I really look forward to reading these 3 issues. I've heard mixed things about them, but I still would like to read it for myself. I bought a couple of Distillery comics, and both of them are compilation ones. So the first one I bought was Come Find Me, an Autumnal Offering. So it's basically a bunch of different stories. And they look like they're scary stories as well. These Distillery covers are just so cool. And they are a bit expensive. They're $8.99 for these. But you get a full, like a magazine size with no ads. And there's actually a lot of titles available now in the Distillery line. I'm not by any means getting all of them, but they're interesting. Like, I usually go for the ones where the art usually grabs me, and there's a bunch like in manga style or maybe art that I don't really like, that I don't grab. Now, this is another one that is a compilation, but this one is a Christmas one. I mean, it looked really cute. And as I was, going through the different art styles. I know this is going to be something that I'm going to at least enjoy looking at the art, even if I don't like all of the stories. Yeah, this just looks like a lot of fun. I can't wait to report on these two to let you know if they are worth buying or not. Okay, and then I did get Savage Sword of Conan number 5. Now, I'm not sure. This was the only copy they had in the store, and he had it set aside for me. So this is the cover that I got. I'm usually very picky at which cover I want to get. I don't know what the alternate covers are. But this one isn't bad. It's pretty nice. This is probably what I'll read last because I still haven't read the other Conan that I got. But a lot of people are saying really good things, and I think I read 2 issues of it, and it's really nice. Now, this one, I picked up two issues of DC Horror. I saw this when it first came out, and I thought it was a really cool cover. And then this one came out, and I'm like, you know what? I got to see these. And when I opened them up, the interior art was not bad, and so I really wanted to give this series a try, and that led me to getting another Batman. Well, this isn't Batman. This is a compilation, but I got another Batman series, and the guy in the shop was complaining because a lot of the comics now are coming out in these white sleeves, and they're supposed to protect the comics. And he's like, you know what? All I do is I fold them back so people can read them. And I guess this is a glow-in-the-dark cover. I didn't particularly love this cover, but it was book 1, and I really wanted book 2, which I'm going to show you. The interior art in this is really cool. Like, I can't wait to take some pictures and show people what the art in this is like. But yeah, it's really cool. And the artist is Stevan Subic, S-U-B-I-C, Subic or Subic. And then let me show you issue 2 because the art on that one like really drew my attention. So he actually bent the white cover, putting it in the bag, and I was like, I don't care. Like this cover thing should go, but whatever. So it's embossed in the back. I guess maybe it will glow in the dark. No. But yeah, I mean, look at that. The color, yeah, I just thought the art on that was so cool. And when you open it up, the art in this is just, it's really cool. How many times? Take a shot for every time I say cool. And there's only, I think, one more comic book for me to show off before I talk about the movies. Hopefully my iPad is now charged enough. Actually, no, there's 2 more. So I got Absolute Wonder Woman number 1 just because I looked at the interior art, and the interior art looked really cool. Now this is by James Tynion, and oh no, it's not. Sorry, it's by Kelly Thompson. When I open this up, let me see. Yeah, the art just looked really neat, and the interiors. And so I'm looking forward to reading this. I guess a lot of the Absolute titles are doing really well. I actually looked for Absolute Batman and Superman, but they must have been sold out. So good for them. And the final one that I bought, this is kind of not like me, but the art on this just grabbed my attention from the beginning. It reminds me of this old Image comic that I have called Trencher. And I haven't read that since it came out. I think I have one of the issues because I sold it with my collection. But I remember the art being like this, very quirky. And I mean, this is just going to be fun to look at. I mean, look at that. Yeah, this is going to be, I think, a fun read just to admire the art. And the two, like Image and DC, have their monthly magazines about, hey, what's coming out. Those are always fun to look through. So those are my new comics that I hope to make a video by Sunday or Monday, showcasing the stories in the interior. But don't worry, I won't be giving away plots. Now, let's get to the movies. I actually watched not a lot of movies over the past couple of weeks, but since I haven't been reporting, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies, and at the end, and a show, and then I have. I'm going to end it with a couple of books. What are you doing? My dog's here. He's in a bad position. Okay. So let's go ahead. Oh, we're at 26%, so that's okay. Let's talk about Star Trek Unification. So Star Trek Unification is a short that's out. And I didn't know much about it. So it's very short. It's like 11 minutes. And people were talking about it online, and they were crying, saying, oh, I haven't cried like this in a long time. So, of course, my curiosity was piqued. I didn't cry. But it was a very interesting short. Like, I spent the first half of it very confused, and then the second half going, oh, I think I know what they're doing here. And then the last, little bit just enjoying what they did. And then, of course, I rewatched it. I would recommend it. I'm not going to say that you're going to understand it until you get to the second half, and then you're going to start putting it together. And then, I mean, I'm a casual Trek fan. I'm not like a super Trekkie. And so I won't know all of the details. And so I did look up some of the things like, oh, this is from that and that. And then it starts to really make sense what they were doing. But they don't explain it. They just kind of show you. And you have, I don't think there's any dialogue in it until there might be something red at the end, something like that. But I recommend it. It's free. You just look it up, a Star Trek Unification short, and you'll find it. Alien Romulus. Alien Romulus was one of these movies that I absolutely should have seen at the movie theater. I thought this movie was phenomenal. I loved it from start to finish. It gave such an aura of the original Alien. It was like bringing you back. It is a little slow to start, but for me there wasn't a problem because they were introducing all the characters and the situations, and I was totally fine with it. And then, look at that! Wow. It does have like a third act that is a little overly long. I still thought it was okay. Like, I was on the edge of my seat, like, what's going to happen? I was totally wrapped up in this film because I was just so invested in it. I loved it so much. It's a great entry into the Alien franchise. Now, there is one scene that is making fans mad, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. When it happened, I was laughing a little bit. It is a little bit cringy, but it doesn't detract from the overall effect of the movie. And in fact, it inflates a little franchise fun into the film. It's a good movie. If you have HBO Max, you need to watch this movie. It's so much fun. And if you saw it at the movie theater and you don't like it, hey, that's okay. I mean, we just have differing opinions. But I loved this movie. Loved it. The next one, I was just scrolling and I came across this movie called Coma. I didn't know anything about it. This guy, he's in a coma. The whole thing takes place in a coma world. And it's very much like Inception. So the world of the coma is built around fragmented memories that the patients have, and there's more than one. And so the world weaves their images together. It was a pretty cool idea, and this must have been a low budget movie, but the special effects are really cool. Like, the world is really neat. The ideas behind it are neat. Not everything about this is a hit, but for a low budget movie that I stumbled across, I'm going to give this a thumbs up. I enjoyed it. Coma. Okay, the next movie is Predestination. Now, Predestination is on my on that list of 30 best time travel movies, I believe. And so when I saw it in the Netflix queue, ready to leaving soon. So the last time I think you can watch it is by December 31st. So I decided to give it a rewatch. I liked it a lot when I saw it. It's basically two people, two characters, and for most of the movie, these two characters are having a conversation, and they use that conversation to explain a very complicated narrative. But they do it in such a way that the story is done with flashbacks. So like the scenes will be played out, and then they go back to them discussing. But the two leads are so good together. They have such a great chemistry, and they're such good actors that they pull this off. Now, this is one of those mind-bending time travel movies that you're going to be scratching your head. Like, it hurts your head to try to think this movie through logically, and that's kind of the point. Now, Sleepy and I were talking about the original short story this is based on, called All These Zombies by Robert Heinlein. And so I actually started listening to it. I didn't get through the whole thing. I kind of was sleepy and fell asleep. But I got like 3/4 of the way, and it very much, the movie follows the short story like almost to the letter. This movie is very interesting, and for that reason alone, if you're interested in some kind of I don't want to tell you like the premise behind it, but if you're interested in time travel and like a puzzle and like a mind scratcher that you're going to have to kind of like think it through, some of the reveals are not that shocking, like you could guess them yourselves, but it still adds to the whole importance of the narrative. I really enjoyed this movie, Predestination, but it is going to be like, like you got to think, and then your brain's going to hurt. Next, I saw that after I was done with Predestination, I saw that Ender's Game was leaving, and I thought to myself, well, I saw Ender's Game at the theater, and I loved the books. And so when I saw it, of course, I was disappointed. It doesn't do the book justice. But I thought to myself, you know what, just watch this movie. It's been years since you've seen it, and just try to judge it on its own merit. And I actually really enjoyed the movie. The ending is very abrupt, though. I still think that ending, it shouldn't have been done the way it was done. It kind of cheapened the whole experience. And I'm just talking like the last 30 seconds of the movie. It kind of left me with a bad feeling that sours the rest of the movie. And I kind of had to say, no, stop, because the performances, the ideas, everything in the core kernels of the novel are in the movie. And of course, the novel has so many more details. But they did a good job, I believe, with Ender's Game. I don't think it deserved to be a flop. If you're someone who's never going to read the novel, then I think this is a good movie for you. I ended up enjoying it. I guess because I had low expectations, and that often happens, when you're watching movies and you have low expectations. All right, last night I rewatched a movie I hadn't seen in forever, and this is The Sentinel from, I think, 1977. Now, as the credits were scrolling, it was name after name after name after name of all these people that I knew. Like, for nothing else, you're gonna know so many of the actors in this movie. But this is a weird one. And I'm gonna say that this is kind of like in the vein of The Omen and all of those kind of like weird movies that were coming out at the time, where I don't know if this one I don't think is as successful as the other ones, but to be honest, it deserves a place in that pantheon of great movies, because the ending of this movie is such a freaky trip. And I use that word intentionally. The end of this movie, like, Burgess Meredith is like psychotic, and he plays this minion from hell, and he's really good, and he's commanding this army of demons that are invading this house. And when I think of this scene, I won't give away the whole thing, but this is like a really, really interesting scene. And it reminds me of some of the scenes in The Shining, where they're running through the house and they're seeing all these different demons, pretty much demons like ghosts, spirits of the people who, died a long time ago. As they're going through the house and they're coming across all these, it's very similar. But in this case, the house is much more dark and cramped, and the whole feeling of it is like oppressed. And the I hate to say this, but I felt bad actually, but it was really effective. They got actual. I'm assuming they got a lot of actual, like, how do I say this? Not, I don't want to say freaks. That's such a bad word to say. But people with human deformities, and they were coming at the actress as like this like group of demons from hell, and they were like lumbering up on her, and they all had so many different deformities. Like, it was truly freaky to watch, like, as they're like coming up on her. And then at the end of the movie, when Burgess Meredith is like commanding them back to hell, and he's saying down, and they're shrinking and they're going away, and they're slinking back into the shadows. It's really effective. Like, this movie, the ending is like freaky good. And I don't understand why this movie isn't like more on, at least for that era. I think this movie stands up as like giving you good chills for the time that it came out, at least. I had seen it a long time ago, and I had forgotten about that end scene, but man, it's hard to watch, because I had sympathy for the actors who had to play those, because I realized, like, in real life what they have to go through, like, but on screen we're supposed to think of them as these hideous, monstrous demons from hell. That's so bad. Go watch this movie. It's like, it's so bad, but that's the really interesting thing, that repulsion that the characters create, and it's just really sad in its own right. I don't know if I did a good job with that. I'm probably gonna come across as being something something really bad. But anyways, the Sentinel movie was I found it very enjoyable. But it's like late 70s, that kind of schlocky horror, but the ending is very effective. That's what I'm trying to say. I think I covered everything. No, there's one last thing. I wanted to say that I was in the library with my students last week, and while the kids were sitting there, I was looking at some new children's books. I don't know if they're new or not. So the second one, I read this one, Imagine a Wolf, and then Sulwe. So Imagine a Wolf, what do you see? Now, this is basically the big bad wolf is going through the story, and everyone treats the wolf like some horrible creature. But the wolf is trying to say, no, that's not me at all. And the art in this was so cute. And he's like, yeah, I've got really big, long teeth. And I mean, that's a double page spread in this book. But then he's like, but yeah, look at what I'm wearing, and I'm knitting, and it's really funny. And then look at this for the eyes. Oh, what big eyes you have. So they go through that whole story, like, oh, what big teeth you have. Oh, what big eyes you have. But they have these gorgeous double page spreads. It's so cool. And then at the end, am I what you imagine? I mean, like, how adorable is that wolf sitting there knitting, cross-legged, with all the sheep all around? And maybe he or she, I'm not sure, has knitted everybody something. Such a cute children's book. Okay, next one is the Sulwe one, and this one is actually written by Lupita Nyong'o, the famous actress, who she won Best Academy Award for. I forget the movie name. Okay, I'm really bad about that. But anyways, it was about plantations. This is she wrote on the back, really beautiful writing on the back about her experiences growing up with such dark skin and how it kind of alienated her. And so she wrote this book about this little girl with dark skin and how she feels and everything that she does to try to, get rid of the color of her skin. And Lupita Nyong'o wrote, like, these are things that I actually did as a kid. And there's also an older sister who's light skinned and she gets treated better. And then the mother tells the story of the two sisters, and they are night and day. And it's a very pretty story, and how night goes away because she feels like that nobody appreciates her. But they only enjoy day's beauty. But then the world goes into chaos. And I mean, just the art in this is so cool. And it's definitely worth, just like, if you go to library, picking up this book and reading through it. The gorgeous art, and then it had a really cool story to tell. And finally, I picked up this. It was a small book. The other ones were big, like about this big, but this one was a tiny book. But this one had won the Caldecott Medal, and this was called Babushka and the Three Kings. So I couldn't get, I got glare on that one. And the old style art on this was really cute. So there's the line drawing on that. And then you could see Babushka over there in the corner walking along. This one told an interesting story too. I'm not going to go into it, but just, you can see some of the art. But I guess there is a legend of Babushka. And so this told the story of Babushka. So it was interesting learning about that as well. I finally put these up in my room. I have in the corner. Now, this weekend, I'm hoping to finally get my room cleaned so that I can put my camera on a pedestal and walk around, and it will follow me, and you can finally see my room. But man, it's been a long struggle, and who knows, maybe even Pancho will jump out during the middle of the video. I doubt it, but who knows. All right, I've spoken enough. I hope you've enjoyed my I'm just checking to see if I forgot anything. I hope you enjoyed this. And look forward to some more videos. Now that I'm off work, I'll probably be pumping out those videos. A lot of my videos have gotten some good responses lately. And so I'm going to continue with my Pete Orn video. I also have another covers album that I'm going to be covering. I'm going to go over some more of the DC Finest, not only Action Comics, but some of the others that have come out. I'm going to be showing off some comics. I'm going to continue with the time travel series. I'm going to have 2 more videos in that vein. So stay tuned. That's what's going on my channel. I want to thank Doug Anderson again. I want to thank Donald Rex. I want to thank all of you that have been watching and supporting my videos all this time. And I'm not going to do a Friendsgiving this time. I'm not going to do a live stream today because, man, that took a lot out of me. It was a lot of fun. But this Christmas, I'm gonna be smarter. I'm not gonna do something like that. But who knows? Excuse me. I'm very spontaneous, so I'll probably come up with something that'll just ruin my life. But okay, again, I want to thank everybody for the support, and I'm off for the next 3 weeks.